Hello everyone, this is Left, Right and Centre and I'm Maria Shakil. It's been 4 days since the devastating landslides in Kerala's Wayanad. The death toll is mounting. Nearly 300 bodies have been recovered so far. The rescue operations across several villages are on day and night amidst incessant rains. As the God's own country is battling this mammoth tragedy, NDTV has started a donation drive to help our brothers and sisters in the state. You can join the drive and donate for the relief fund. The details are on your television screens. The Kerala tragedy has once again brought forth the grim reality of climate change. 2024 has been marked by landslides around the world. Their frequency is increasing as the impact of climate change intensify. Plantation farming and extremely heavy rain in Kerala continued and then we saw the Wayanad tragedy. Rampant and unplanned development in fragile zones has also made areas like Wayanad prone to such tragedies. Overall, we are seeing increased extreme weather events, intense rains, increased heats, and other such issues which are triggering tragic events such as urban floods and landslides. Have we missed the climate bus? Or do we still have time to reset the climate clock? We'll be talking to the experts who will be joining me on the panel tonight. Later on the show, we'll run an interview with Kerala Governor Arif Mohammed Khan, who told us that there are still many areas which are cut off and rescue teams haven't managed to reach there. But first up, here's a ground report that has been filed by my colleague Pratibha Raman on the relief and rescue operation.
Day 3 of the mammoth rescue operations in Kerala's Wayanad, hit by massive landslides that have devastated a number of villages. On Thursday, a makeshift bridge was assembled for easier access to the regions affected and isolated by the landslide. The defense teams pulled out 7 bodies at a stretch, taking the number of deaths to over 290. There are around 200 people missing and several thousand who are now lodged across 18 relief camps. Former Wayanad MP Rahul Gandhi visited the site along with his sister Priyanka and met with the affected.
There is still a lot of work to be done here, but it's a huge tragedy. I'd like to thank all the people who are working here, the doctors, the nurses, the administration, volunteers. I'm very proud of everyone who's working here, but it's very, very sad to see.
Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan was huddled in a high-level meeting. The state has denied the centre's claim of having issued the alert earlier, and the Kerala Assembly Speaker insisted on more discussions on this key issue.
It's quite unfortunate that when Kerala is facing this kind of a huge tragedy, a natural disaster, a union government, Shri Amit Shah, he's telling like this. So we have to, Honorable CM himself has responded to this comment.
But when it comes to this region, it is prone to landslides and there has been heavy rains. Could this have been avoided?
Yeah, this is to be discussed. The statement made by Amit Shah, that I don't know. I spoke to CM, he had made clearly the statement. In the evening itself, Honorable Chief Minister has given his reply to the Honorable Home Minister. So this issue has to be seriously discussed.
Meanwhile, those who have died are being laid to rest free of cost by volunteers in the region.
And joining me on the show, Anil Antony, spokesperson of the BJP. We have Dr. Shama Mohammed, national spokesperson of the Congress. M.A. Baby is CPIM Politburo member. C.K. Vishnudas is director of Hume Centre for Ecology, Wayanad in Kerala. Dr. Anjal Prakash is climate and water expert. Dr. Thara KG is a former member, State Disaster Management Authority, Government of Kerala. And we also have former DIG of NDRF, Naveen Kumar Bhatnagar. Before I bring in others, M.A. Baby, a quick word from you. Devastation seems to be only increasing. The cry that we are hearing from Kerala is very, very disturbing. Has there been some kind of assessment of the extent of the damage? Does the state government have some kind of estimate of how much damage has happened because of the landslides?
Yeah, you see, perhaps like you, I am sitting in Delhi. This morning, the Chief Minister has participated in a meeting with those who are heading the rescue operations. Before the arrival of the Chief Minister, immediately after this most unfortunate calamity had happened, a five-member team, five ministers of the state cabinet, they rushed to the scene. Apart from trained people belonging to different departments, help of the central government was also sought. Central rescue teams, army, paramilitary, police, all of them were there in the scene as quickly as possible. As per the information available, the death toll, it is highly shocking. It is rising. Bodies are being recovered. Nearly 84 bodies have been identified and handed over to their relatives. Many more bodies and body parts have been recovered from Chaliar River and all that. Meanwhile, the good news is that 1,592 people have been rescued from danger. They have been taken to safe place. Hundreds of people have been moved to these camps, refugee camps set up in different parts. You see, when I contacted some people who have more information about what has been happening there, one information is that, one higher secondary school, most part of the school was devastated, and as a result of that, in the rubble, many number of people have been killed. But there was one structure of the school which was constructed by the present Pinarayi Vijayan government under KIFBI. That was a new building constructed. That building fortunately survived, and because of that building's survival, that survived building could prevent the calamity in certain areas. The people over there, they could be saved and rescued. This is long and short. What is the situation over there?
Okay. Sir, my question is about the early warning system and the ugly blame game which is happening between the centre and the state. Your Chief Minister, Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan, says that there is no warning that was given specifically on Wayanad, while the Home Minister has said on the floor of the House that there were several alerts which were sounded. Can this blame game be avoided?
You see, I fully agree with your sentiment. This is not a time to apportion blame or engage in blame game between the state government and central government or various political parties. Our only complaint is that the Honorable Home Minister of the country should not have misled the Houses of Parliament. First he spoke, I think, in Rajya Sabha, then he spoke in Lok Sabha also. You see, we have all the information available. The communication that had happened between the central government and the state government cannot be suppressed. This would be made available. You see, at no point of time before the calamity or during the calamity, no central agency communicated red alert with regard to Wayanad. This is a fact which no one could dispute. Then other details we can say. Another point is that even though there was no red alert from the part of the central agencies, meteorological department, and all most important agencies are under the umbrella of the central government. Notwithstanding the fact that there was no red alert given from such agencies to the state government on its own gave direction, and Wayanad district administration gave direction to ask people to close down there. For example, the place where this calamity had happened, there are a lot of tourist setups, homestays and resorts. Panchayat, the Meppadi Panchayat directed all resorts to close down before this calamity had happened. And on television channel of Malayalam, which is not very friendly with, or which is not a pro-left channel, rather it is a channel which tries to get any opportunity to be used to criticize the state government. That channel has given a report. I have that report in my WhatsApp connection, where that correspondent from the spot, he reports that the district administration and Panchayat directed the resource to close and people to shift over to camps. Some people, it's also a matter of fact, some people ask, no, we don't want to go to such refugee camps. This is also a fact.
Okay. Dr. Shama Mohammed, we saw Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi on ground. You're also from Kerala. What are you picking up? I spoke to Arif Mohammed Khan, whose interview will be playing out shortly as well. He's of the opinion that there are several villages which are still cut off. So the situation on the ground is certainly grim.
Yes. So I have been speaking to, first and foremost, I want to thank NDTV for running this campaign to donate money to Kerala. That's a very, very good, very thoughtful of NDTV. See, Kerala needs all the help. I remember the 2018 floods. It's something like that right now. I mean, I'm telling you, the death rate will be more than 300. And one thing about Kerala is when something like this happens, whether it's the BJP, whether it is I'm talking about the state government, CPIM or LDF or Congress, we don't play politics. We think about the Keralites and how to help them. That's what happens. And it was actually unfortunate that the Home Minister had to say that instead of giving out an all-out help for Kerala right now. See, it's a disaster zone. Now, Rahul ji and Priyanka ji were there today. They were there at Churalmala. It's also one of the areas near Meppadi. I mean, they saw the devastation. I could sense it when Rahul Gandhi ji was speaking. And he also said that, you see, I lost my father. I felt the pain. I'm feeling the same pain. And people are not just the father. One boy lost his whole family, He tried to hold on to his mother. I was listening to some other of my friends telling me, people from there, his mother slipped away from him. He wanted to hold her. She was 6 years old. And the rest of the family have all died. He's alone now. So it's stories such as that. Body parts. We're getting body parts, not even a body together. Body parts, a lot of rehabilitation needed because the whole areas are gone, houses are gone, jobs, everything, their livelihood, farming. Yes, there has been issues. I was listening to the reports. There are also, I agree that people, where construction is happening, illegal quarrying work, these things should not happen. We all should think about our future, as one. Not about different parties or this is that party's thing or this party's thing. And, for example, Kannur, where I come from, there's a lot of rain, but there's no flooding because Kannur has not had the development what Kochi has got. Kochi, there's flooding because in mangroves, you build constructed buildings. You take you take land from the sea and you construct there. So you need, when heavy rains are there, the water has to flow out. Where is it going to go? That's the thing. And of course, a place like Wayanad, you can't have quarry work happening. You can't have all these illegal sort of, without permission, homestays and etc. So everybody has to look into it. It has
to be an idea of collective action. Yes. Anil Anthony, can there be collective action? Yes, and no politics at this hour. Politics certainly is avoidable. Sorry? Yeah, Anil Anthony, I'm asking that question.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for having me in the show. And again, I'm from Kerala myself, and I really appreciate the campaign you are running for Kerala. I agree with something with both my co-panelist, and this is not a time for politics. I am from Kerala myself, and this is one of the worst tragedies that our state has seen. Over 300 people have been killed, villages have been washed out, and as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned and the central government is concerned, the only priority right now is to ensure that we support Kerala in whatever manner we can. As soon as this tragedy happened, the Prime Minister took stock of the situation. He spoke to the Chief Minister. And immediately NDRF and Army and Air Force was deployed in the place. And our Prime Minister and the central government announced 2 lakhs for the victims, each victim's families, and 50,000 for each person who was injured. And even before the tragedy, like the early warning system was installed as early as 2016. It's working very effectively. Multiple states, including Assam and Orissa, has been using it very effectively. And 10 days before the tragedy happened, there was a warning that was given to Kerala. There is a chance for abnormally high rainfall on the western coast of Kerala. Then 23rd and 25th, similar warnings were given. On the 25th, warning was given that there could be landslides also. And our Home Minister himself took the initiative to send 8 preemptively, 8 or 9 battalions of NDRF are sent to those regions also. So even before and even after, the central government and our government and
so let's try and understand
we want to support Kerala.
These killer landslides. What could have been done? Dr. Thara, I'm trying to understand from you. You know, landslides are not considered to be as devastating as, say, droughts or storms or floods. But what we are seeing this time around, because of climate change happening, that landslides are leading to such kind of devastation and death toll.
Landslides are actually quite devastating, especially in a populated region. If it happens, it can be quite devastating, absolutely no doubt about it. What is happening here is that, you were talking about the claim of central government that they have given warning about the possibility of landslides in Wayanad. I being myself being a scientist and a geologist, and who have been heading the disaster management center for about 20 years, I can say that it has absolutely no scientific basis, because the country doesn't have any kind, even now when we are talking, having this discussion, we have not developed any kind of equipment or sensor which will give you advance warning about a possibility of landslides. About flood, yes, we have alert system, but about landslides, it varies from place to place, because it all depends upon the pressure, pore pressure. Pore pressure means the pressure exerted by water stored within the pore spaces of rock. When it exceeds the equilibrium of that rock, it slips down. Other factors are also there, including geological factors. So at what time this will cross that limit? So far, the country has not been able to come up with any kind of sensor, any kind of equipment, and that is number one. Number two is that the Indian Meteorological Department, the Honorable Home Minister was saying that a prior warning was given, but based on Indian Meteorological Department data, Indian Meteorological Department has only 5 rain gauges in Wayanad. Wayanad has about 2,132 square kilometer area and no rain gauges in Mundakai, which was the worst hit in this landslide. So it gives only a representative value of how much rain is expected. So unless we have location-specific warning, for which we need a spread of these rain gauges across ward level, ward level data is needed. This is not only applicable to Kerala, it is applicable to other places also where the landslide probability is there, like Himachal Pradesh or Uttarakhand. We don't have these local level, micro level data. We don't have.
Okay.
So,
in the absence of these data, Dr. Anjal Prakash, what are the triggering factors and also the conditioning factors? Can there be preparation or rescue before landslide?
Yes, you have to understand first that these are climate catastrophe. This is increasingly happening in all across India. And as we are talking now about Kerala, we already are seeing devastating images which is coming from Himachal Pradesh, from Uttarakhand, and all across India. You'll find that these things are happening, and numerous climate change report, the IPCC report, which I'm fortunately been part of, has been flagging this for years and years. So the problem is that the knowledge is there, but there's no action. What is happening is the knee-jerk solution, knee-jerk action, which happens post-disaster. What we need to do, and you're right, that we need to work on pre-disaster. There has been Madhav Gadgil's headed report on this one. No action has been taken by any government, and I'm not politically pointing out for anything, because it happens all across political parties. So there is a political failure of the leadership, that I would say, in recognizing these events as climate change events. One. The second is that that means if we are really seeing this as a climate change led event, we must also see that this has to be combated with a coordinated action. Now, what is happening is that the fragmentation of the institutions, there is a systemic failure in responding to these situations, and that's where we are not able to combat it. And my submission here, and then using this opportunity, is to have a separate ministry for climate change. We are not able to manage the kind of devastation we are seeing from the up north to up down south, east and west. Everywhere we are actually facing problems by climate change. We need to have a separate ministry with a separate infrastructure that will help us to combat these issues. Otherwise, there is no tomorrow for us.
Okay. C.K. Vishnudas, we are trying to understand this entire terrain where landslides have happened. And they are largely triggered or seen around plantation area. Help us understand this terrain. Why do you think a landslide happened? Was it cloudburst? And what could have been done to prevent the scale of devastation that we are seeing? Although the clearest estimate is still not clear. The right estimate.
Yeah, if you look at the Wayanad terrain, we have been experiencing a landslide since 2018. And this particular location, Mundakai, has a historical experience of landslides starting from 1984. And if you look at this particular landslide, it's mostly caused by...
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, we have received about 572 millimeter rainfall in the same location, and we have installed about 200 weather stations, rain gauges across the Wayanad district, and has been monitoring rainfall for the past 4 years. And we are working closely with the District Disaster Management Authority for the last 4 years, and giving every day there is a data going on for about the locations which are saturated. But unfortunately, this particular rainfall has come on a time when the entire Wayanad is saturated with the already received rainfall. For example, from June 1st to June 20th, most of the location has already received about 2,800 millimeter rainfall, which is quite high compared to last year, about almost double that of what is received in the last June, July. And the cloudburst kind of an event has occurred on top of that. And I think that the volume of water that actually poured into the mountain slopes is extremely high. And none of these mountain slopes can withstand such a huge volume of water. And that's why the slides happens. So this is not new now. For example, in 2018, we had a major incident in Kurchermala in Wayanad, which is again one of the largest landslides. And 2019, we had the Puttumala, where 17 lives are gone. And 2020, there was another landslide in the same stream where we had this massive landslide in Mundakai. But the right time, the DDMA has evacuated people, and none of the people have been affected. And now, unfortunately, even though the warning has been given by DDMA and District Panchayat and local Panchayat to local people, and some people have been escaped from the event, but many others are unfortunately gone into it. So what I'm telling is, like, we are people are not aware about the kind of rainfall that is going to happen in a mountain terrain. And people always say that we know this terrain, we know this rainfall for years. Maybe people have been living there for almost 80, 100 years now. But in the context of climate change, our entire climatic system has been changed. The monsoon onset has gone to, if you look at last 2 years data, the monsoon onset started from 27th and 28th in Wayanad. And this year it started from June 1st. So there is now consistency of rainfall. And what happened, like in July, we used to like extreme rainfall for 10 days. There will be another 10 days are dry days. So there won't be any rain. So the whole system of monsoon has changed in the western, in the Kerala as a country. So we need to.
So with the changed, climate, are we prepared to handle it? And what are the challenges on ground? Naveen Kumar Bhatnagar, as former DIG of NDRF, what are you picking up? Now a bridge has been made to connect to the villages which have been so far cut off, but it's still a lot of challenge for the NDRF teams which are present there to make the correct assessment of the devastation.
Yeah. So our NDRF people are well trained about and such conditions. Also, they have taken part in so many areas in India and even abroad also. So we are having the latest equipment with us, and we can very well give the proper way for this rescue operation. And we have saved the life also for these type of incidents. Here also, day and night, our boys are doing well. They have the night devices. They have the lighting arrangements. They have the electronic items like GPRS-based electronic system and your life locator, sniffer dogs, and other instruments also, heavy-duty instruments. With the help of them, they are saving the life. But again, I will request the state government also to take care about the Gadgil report. They should follow the norms, whatever was recommended there, because the people were so reluctant. In initial stage, they were not ready to vacate their houses. That is why it happened like that. Otherwise, by strict action, now our NDRF is taking a strict action. They are
so perhaps if it could have happened earlier, we are always wiser in retrospectively. But Anil Antony, can you initiate as the government at the center for an all-party meeting or an all-party initiative for greater sensitivity which is needed at this hour for Kerala? You have to unmute yourself, Anil.
So during the parliament session, almost all the member of parliaments did raise the issue from all the parties, including the Congress party and the Marxist party. And our government, including the Home Minister and the Prime Minister, did hear all the views. And it was after that the Home Minister gave a very comprehensive overview of what all have been done so far. And we are ensuring that whatever support we can give to the state will be given. So definitely, yes, every voice from the state will be heard. And we will ensure that there is no politics during the time of a disaster. We will do whatever it takes to assist the people of Kerala. But it is fairly disappointing to see both the major India Alliance members, the Congress and the CPM, trying to finger point and try to put blame on the government actions, etc. Because this is not something which should be done at this point of time, including the early warning systems, including some of the...
But if you have Dr. Thara, who understands the entire system, she is of the opinion that you cannot give warnings of this nature. Scientifically, it's not possible. Then what kind of warning system was given? Warnings were given or sounded?
Maria, when the Home Minister himself says that when we had preemptively deployed 9 battalions of NDRF personnel a few days before the tragedy, this means that we did foresee something, and then we gave a warning.
Dr. Shama Mohammed, please go ahead.
I just want to tell him, no, he says we are playing politics. Anil, we didn't want to play politics. Amit Shah need not have given a speech that day in Parliament. He would have just had said, the Home Minister, Honorable Home Minister said, we are standing with Kerala in this disaster. That's all. We can talk about the signal coming in, not coming in, all about it later. One. Number two, when the Kerala floods happened, when the Sheikh of Dubai was ready to give us 700 crore, who stopped it? The central government. But at the same time, in PM Care funds, you took money from outside. So I don't want to take politics. Let's also understand in 2002, Vajpayee ji visited the earthquake when it happened in Gujarat. 2012, Manmohan Singh visited Assam when the floods happened.
Yes.
So what people would say, the Honorable, we don't want to play politics. We need help and we want the Prime Minister to help Kerala.
And I'm glad Dr. Shah Mohammed is talking about help. And, that the help is needed as someone who is there on ground and she understands her state. Of course, let me, yes, Dr. Anjal Prakash, you wanted to come in and then I'll give the last word to Dr. Thara. Please go ahead.
No,
the
point I wanted to bring in that, this is the time for us to move across the party line, one.
Yes.
And only Kerala, but it's also what the entire Western Ghat is at a stake that we have to see. Increasing climate change catastrophes are happening and this is devastating for all of us. So let's go beyond the political harakiri and then work on a coordinated effort so that we can save the Western Ghat. That's number one. Number two, let's bring out a white paper. See, Madhav Gadgil report has come a couple of years before. Now we don't have an information as of today and tomorrow. So why don't we just, after the heat dust settles, let's work on a white paper, bring out the issue on board and work towards it so that next year we don't come on the same panel and discuss, because this is going to happen year after year after year. And that's the whole problem, that we are not learning lessons from the problems that we're facing.
Correct.
Okay, so no lessons learned. Perhaps this is the hour to learn lessons. So, Dr. Thara, what are the lessons being learned from this tragedy?
I would say that the greatest lesson that we need to, I will not say that we have already learned, but the lesson that we need to learn is that unscientific planning and, unplanned growth or development. I mean, I no longer believe in the term development. Development for whom and for what? This kind of activity, developmental activities, cannot go on without any kind of planning and without giving sufficient, respect to nature. Because this particular zone, place where the massive landslide has happened, Mundakai, worst hit in Wayanad district. This falls in zone 1 of Gadgil committee report, which very clearly specifies that no new construction should happen here and no industry should be set up and no road cutting should happen. And we are planning a 6-line, the National Highway Authority is planning, along with the state government, is planning a 6-lane national highway parallel to this Western Ghats. Number one. Number two is that many places, especially this Wayanad, they're going for a hype in adventure tourism. And along this very risky slope, many homestays have come up. Many tourist centers have come up, which they advocate the adventure tourism or kayaking and whatnot. And all this is putting pressure on the hill slopes, and lives of poor people is being affected. And the veracity of Honorable Home Minister can be verified by just looking at the Indian Meteorological Department site, their data. We can't question the data published in the IMD, Indian Meteorological Department website. It clearly says that within 2 days, there will be 214 centimeter rainfall. What we received, it was 572 millimeter rainfall. So 214 millimeter means orange alert, not much of a danger. Red alert means we have to shift people. And we are talking about 8.47 lakh people in Wayanad. Unless a location-specific, alert system is there, we can't be thinking of relocating all the 8 lakh people to Kozhikode and, make them safe. So IMD didn't give any, Indian Meteorological Department gave only 214 millimeter alert. We got double the amount. Whatever was expected in one single year, annual rainfall, half of it we received within 2 days' time. So I would say that this is a climate-related event, natural event, aggravated by human intervention with unplanning development, unscientific development, and without respecting the nature sustainable development. We can't, go on like this. We need to take that lesson home.
All right, Dr. Thara, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Naveen Kumar Bhatnagar, Dr. Anjal Prakash, C.K. Vishnudas, M.A. Baby, Dr. Shah Mohammed, and Anil Anthony. Coming up is our interview with Kerala Governor Arif Mohammed Khan, who has said that there is the real picture of the extent of damage is still not clear. Listen in. As the death toll due to Kerala landslides surge, Arif Mohammed Khan, the Kerala Governor, is here. And we'll try and understand the real picture on the ground. Arif Saab, you were there on ground, very close to the site of the tragedy. Actually, tell us what really is the assessment right now.
No, the official figure, which just now has been confirmed, is they are saying around 200 plus. But the problem here is that these bodies which have been recovered so far, they are mostly from a village which has been devastated because the river has changed its course. But the main settlement which was fully, you can't see any single house now from a distance, which has been really, this is because of the landslide, the river changed its course and then it ravaged the village. From that village, these bodies have been recovered. But the first village, which has been ravaged by the landslide itself, because the bridge on the river was washed off. Therefore, we are not able to reach there. And army people, since yesterday, this happened day before yesterday night, army and our defense forces, including Navy and Air Force people, they have been assisting the district administration. The district collector is a young lady. She has been there on the spot along with other senior officers, the superintendent, for everybody is there. And large number of volunteers, I must tell you, large number. They have come on their own. People have come out. But so far, we are making a count of the bodies which are being recovered, which have been recovered from the village, which has been destroyed because the river has changed its course.
So the real assessment is still not known, and we are
not possible. Not possible because now the report we are receiving is the army people. They have been at it. Their engineering unit is there since yesterday. They are working day and night, and they are trying to build it is called technically belly bridge, which can take even a truck to pass, and possibly within few hours. They have been at it since yesterday morning. So possibly within few hours, that will be ready. And then we will have access to the first village,
which has been impacted by the landslide. And Arif Saab, the NDRF is struggling because of the terrain being very, very treacherous. The rehabilitation work can only begin little later, but right now it is about rescue.
It is rescue and relief. Relief work has started in full measure. Big camps have been set up. Everybody is being taken there. Not only these people who have been affected, but since the river is in full speed, so even village, the houses, river has changed its course. It may change further. So all those who were living in the I would say, on the banks of this new course, they all have been removed from there. So relief work is in full operation. Rescue teams are working. And after this bridge becomes operational, then it will be possible, maybe by this evening or maybe by tomorrow, to have a realistic picture.
So right now
of the
there is
casualties.
right now you would say that there is no clear assessment of the extent of the damage.
It is not possible because we are not able to reach the first site which has been affected by the landslide. But, and please keep it in mind that this is not a remote village. It is true that it is in a hilly area, but it is not a remote village. It is part of a town area. And this particularly the settlement which we have not succeeded, which we will be able to access only after bridge becomes operational. That is 100-year-old settlement. That is not something new.
Okay. Home Minister Amit Shah in Parliament has said that there were certain warnings, multiple alerts that were issued to the state government since July 23rd of a possibility of a natural calamity.
True. So many warnings have been issued, and I do not know. I really do not know, because yesterday it was not when I was there. Then it was not the time to take stock of all these things. Therefore, I am not in a position to go into that issue. It is the time at the moment I feel, when I was there yesterday particularly, to share the grief of the people, to have a look there, to have a look at the patients in the hospital, to have a look at the relatives, to meet them.
Yes, sir. But the Chief Minister, Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan, here has said that there were no alerts that were issued for Wayanad per se, and the landslides happened in this village. So, could these deaths have been avoided? Could preparations have been put in place?
I won't like to go into that, but if Honorable Home Minister is saying that warnings were issued, I have no reason to doubt that.
So in terms of what's happening on ground, since you have been on the ground, are you sensing that the relief work and particularly the availability of medical services, are they sufficient?
Both relief work and the rescue work, they are being done with full force. And Wayanad is a small district, so the centers, medical centers, hospitals of the government, they do not have so much facilities there. But there is a private hospital, Dr. Mopin's hospital, and I visited that place. Most of the people who could be where the rescue team thought that they can survive, they were taken to Mopin Hospital. And the doctors there, they are working, full time they are working. They are doing their best, and they have been, till yesterday, they were able to, more than 140 people who were brought in very poor condition. And they, after few hours reaching there, when this tract, which was full of mud, it was cleared, then they became quite stable. So I would like to compliment these doctors of the hospital, both government hospital and the Mopin hospital, the administration, and of course our army, our navy, our air force. They are taking risk, and they are doing great work, both rescue and relief.
Arif sir, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV.